watching Superskum.com, and here we are. Carlos Reale. We're here with Gary Holt from Exodus. Exodus back on the road, of course, in this Metal Alliance tour with Anthrax and Municipal Waste. Just talked to those guys and not too long ago. So basically, you're also back touring with Exodus, so welcome back to the band, of course.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
It feels good to be back on the road with the band, the only band that basically I've ever known, other than this other little job I have. So, but it's good. We're having a really good time. The shows have been packed, so it's been super excellent.
Apparently, there's a controversy brewing between Disney and House of Blues and Live Nation, who owns House of Blues. But for this specific tour, once again, another band has been added to that dreadful list from the Disney Corporation, and this time around it's Exodus' turn, if you will. So the Orlando gig, you cannot perform there.
Well, the Anaheim, the first show, we weren't allowed to either.
Oh, in Anaheim as well. Oh, so the two House of Blues that are on Disney soil.
Disney doesn't want to have anything to do with Exodus, apparently. I don't know.
And yeah, like you said, and I quote you, too metal for Disney. So I like that
I don't
one.
know. It's like they shouldn't have anything against me. I've spent fortunes on their merchandise, considering I have a house full of daughters. It's like I've spent plenty on Little Mermaid bedroom sets and stuff. They should actually like me a little more. But it is what it is, and that's fine. It's like if we're too extreme for them, so be it. But it's a shame we had to miss those two shows. I mean, the night of the Orlando show, we're playing in Tampa, where they have a great relationship with Satan. So Satan and violence is welcome, in Tampa. So that's where we'll be.
And it's just very interesting because it's a unique case of not necessarily censorship, but it is a little bit discriminatory to go against specific bands, and they're saying that it's because of the lyrics and the messages and even the fans. They even quoted it
I
back
think in our case it's got to be more about the fans, because we have a lot of extreme subject matter, and we have a lot of violence in the older songs, a lot of Satanism in some of the newer songs, but we also have songs speaking out against drug abuse, and we've written songs against drunk driving and basically a lot of stuff about being free thinkers, and they just don't want any part of it, I guess. I think it's the crowd more than anything,
Yeah, I guess picking on Machine Head, they're banned for life as well. Do you also have a lifetime ban?
I haven't been told if it's a lifetime ban or not. I don't know if I'm on probation
more
or something.
Likely, a little blacklist somewhere.
We've been banned from the whiskey forever, so.
Okay.
Why are you banned from whiskey?
Because the show was too violent and over the top. We played there. The place made a ton of money. I'll say a ton because I use the slang term. They made $1 million. Speaking in like rough terms, of course they didn't make $1 million. It's like if I said a gazillion, I don't think anybody would have questioned it. But Rob was laughing, our singer, because they said people online read that quote and were questioning. No way that whiskey made $1 million. Of course they didn't. Don't be a fucking pimple-faced asshole in your mom's basement and think I was literally speaking $1 million. But sold-out show, a couple hundred turned away, the entire crowd drinking the place dry. They made a lot of money and still don't ever want us back. So, the crowd pretty much tore the place apart. So, they didn't, I think they just didn't like to have to work a little extra hard, because the venue was standing. Nothing was broke. No windows smashed. No chairs thrown. It was just a little too much for them. And so they said we could never play the whiskey again. And at least this one time we can't play the House of Blues, the Disney Resort ones. Maybe I have to do some public service announcement, But, hey, it is what it is. It's not the only venue in town, so.
Oh, absolutely. And you were able to actually schedule a one-off show in Tampa, like you said, the Orpheum.
Yeah, we missed the first show of the tour, though, which sucked, because
Anaheim.
That's when everybody's gathering together for the first time, and so everybody had a head start on us. But I got to start in Vegas, which,
not that bad
Sin City, go there and gamble away whatever pittance you have, and it's perfectly fine. Drink all night.
That works, man. You
Yeah,
can't
well,
go
you
wrong
know,
with Vegas.
If you're going to
you know?
lose all your money at 4 a.m, they should at least let you have a drink at 4 a.m. You know?
And nobody gets banned from Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
There's
casinos,
always-
and that's about it.
There's always some like shitty little spot off the strip that'll have you. You know, you get thrown out of the Bellagio. There's a bar down the road. You know, the really sucky thing is, I love Disneyland. You know, if we were playing the Orlando show, I'd be in Disney World during the day. You know, it's like
Exactly.
Ooh, I gotta miss.
And you know,
out.
we do have to clear up that it's not House of Blues. They're owned by Live Nation.
Exactly.
So it's Disney. It's the House of Blues located inside the Disney park. Disneyland.
This whole tour is a Live Nation tour, you know, and,
Mm-hmm.
and so out of an entire run across the states, there's 2 places owned by the mouse that don't want us there, and there's nothing I can do about it, you know.
Exactly. You know, but there's 14 House of Blues, so screw it.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
play the other
we're
12.
playing pretty much all of them, you know, and have before, you know. But you know,
So,
it's like when it happened, my manager said, "Does anything bad ever happen at the Anaheim House of Blues because they're saying you can't play?" And I said, "I've never played there." So you know, I can't have done anything to like, you know, piss anybody off at a place I've never darkened their doorstep, you know. But you know, I don't know. Maybe it's part lyrical, you know. Maybe it's part crowd violence. But you know, this is a tour with Anthrax, High on Fire, Municipal Waste, and Holy Grail, and Exodus are the bad guys. You know, it's like,
I know the other bands
Makes
can't
zero
play.
sense.
Nothing against them, but the other
Makes-
bands are allowed to play.
yeah, it makes 0 sense to me. You know, it's like.
Interesting. At the same time, you know, moving along the touring schedule for the band, you are going to participate along with Anthrax, Municipal Waste, Sodom, Motorhead, In Flames, Epica. Let's see who else that I can remember at the top of my head. There's just so many good bands. You're going to Guadalajara, Mexico.
Oh yeah, the Heaven and Hell
And,
Festival. Yeah.
Yes, and
That's gonna be great,
Basically,
yeah.
that's May 18th and 19th, and you're set up. It's going to be a really good fest, man.
Yeah,
2
it's
days
good.
of really good bands. Are you pumped up for that one?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you looking forward?
That'll be
what
a
are your
shi-
expectations?
That'll be. I expect nothing but like all out violence, you know, because you know our fans down in Latin America are just nuts, you know, and our particular brand of heavy metal is welcome and
He's
with open
particularly,
arms, you know.
yes,
so-
followed down there.
and it's going to be like a bomb went off. It always is when we're down there. It's great, you know. I can't wait.
What I mean, you've been to festivals in Europe. You are going to this festival in Mexico. What do you think is lacking in the United States in relation to this? You know, like
as far as,
multiple
like-
day system or model, festival model, if you will.
Well, Europe's so much easier to navigate around. You know, it's like you could live in, you know, Sweden and make it to Vaken quite easily.
Absolutely.
You know, like hell, they got the bargain airfare. You know, you could fly there for 20 euros. You know, It's like-
Unrestricted travel, European Union
yeah,
passports.
it's
you
super
name it,
easy
yes.
to get around, and to be honest, I don't think you can put 60,000 Americans in one place without a lot of bad shit happening. I've been to some of the biggest festivals in Europe, and I've never seen a fight. I've seen a couple fights backstage. You know, a couple of drunken band dudes, usually in the same band. You know, but the fans, they can show up for that kind of thing and enjoy the music they love in peace. You know, and Americans, you know, tend to get a little bit rowdier and, you know, a little bit more like, you know, people pumping their chest out, you know, like who's tougher than the next guy. And you just don't see that over there. And I think that has something to do with it. Plus the geographical limitations, you know, it's like, you know, you do one in California, it's awful expensive for a guy from New York to
Yeah,
go to it,
absolutely.
you know, or vice versa, you know.
No, it's true. It's always going to involve a lot of traveling here as well, and very expensive. Do you think it also plays, you know, popularity and fan base plays a role into that? Like, because we have a touring festival, you know, in the form of Mayhem Tour and all that.
used
but-
to have Ozfest. and
yes,
stuff.
absolutely.
And plus, you know, a big part of the European festival is the camping, you know.
Yeah, that's
And I don't think they're prepared to handle that in the States, you know, to do a festival and have that many people camping out. You know, I mean, you can just imagine what would happen. You'd have to bring in the National Guard or something.
along with the band Exodus touring again. You're back touring with them. What are the future plans? Because, you know, your last album came out 3 years ago this May, Exhibit B. basically the human condition. So anything written, recorded, any producer name, anything you can.
Nothing recorded yet, but definitely in the writing process.
Okay.
Just on one hand, we don't feel like we're in a hurry. I think, at least my opinion, we've busted out like really killer albums and done it in a really rapid fire fashion. Kept the product coming out, but the next one, it'll be out when it's ready. And the riffs are crushing. It's crushing. I mean, everybody always says that. Oh, the new one's just gonna be so badass.
No, but it's always nice to hear, man. I mean,
you
say it's crushing. It's crushing. Bring it on.
If I think it's crushing, it's usually pretty crushing. I mean, not everybody likes the same shit I do. Some people say it sucks. Maybe it does. I don't know. But it's gonna be brutal. And I'm still busy, with the Slayer thing too, and jumping back and forth from one band to the other. It's
Turning
like
your ass off.
But hopefully be hitting the studio maybe around the end of the year and for a release in 2014.
Like you just mentioned, you are a very busy musician with Exodus and Slayer at this point in your life. So how do you think, how do you see, you think that the Slayer experience actually reflected on Exodus in any specific way?
I'm not sure. Like, what way do you mean?
Fans in the shows, or even any music influence that you can grab from being Slayer, hanging out with them, or even playing their music up to a point. Anything influencing?
Maybe I'll write shorter songs on the next album. Maybe the next album will be shorter than Rain and Blood. I don't know. But, it's been a good experience because, people look at, people on the outside looking in and don't know the history I have with those guys. The whole band has with those guys. They like, he's playing with this hero and stuff. No, I'm playing with friends since we were children, and that's the way I always look at it. And it's been kind of fun and liberating at the same time to go out and just, play songs I love that aren't my own and have zero responsibility other than to just play guitar. Shut up and play your guitar, Gary, And we have a good time, I've been super close friends with those guys since the early 80s and it's been fun, and playing Angel of Death doesn't suck. It's fucking some of the greatest riffs on earth in those albums. I get to play them, so it's pretty awesome.
How was Australia?
Australia was great, except the heat was overwhelming.
Oh shit!
Playing in direct sunlight under the Australian sun, it's a little hard.
Pretty brutal.
And I had it easy.
Kidding.
Carrie's the one with like 15 pounds of chains hanging off him, wearing leather. I'm just out there in stretch jeans and a t-shirt. Complaining about wearing boots. Fucking sissy.
No, definitely a lot of work, and the sun in Australia, no shit, scorching heat over there.
But we can't, we walk off stage just like feeling like we're about to pass out, and we can't complain because the audience are right down in the thick of it,
Absolutely.
all day.
Absolutely.
We're complaining about like an hour, it's like these people are there from sun up to sundown, so maybe they're a little more used to it than we are.
Do you think there's a kind of a boost for Exodus regarding maybe newer fan base or newer fans, if you will, because they see you in Slayer? It's like, oh my God, I can't believe he also plays in Exodus. There's a lot of new fans that don't even know that.
Yeah, that's possible because, like old school people go, how could a Slayer fan not, be an Exodus fan? But Slayer's one of the biggest metal bands in the world. Obviously, all their fans aren't thrash heads from the 80s, so, it might open up the exposure of Exodus a little bit more to some, like you said, there's some people who weren't familiar with the band, and that's good for us,
Absolutely.
So, I definitely have no complaints about that.
You've been in the band almost since its inception, basically 1980, 81, I think it was for you.
Yeah, fresh out of high school.
Yes, shit. It's like it's been a very long career, very dedicated. Even though the band has somewhat of a tumultuous type of history, two hiatuses and then reforming of the band, and my God, you have
death, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yes, you actually, unfortunately, also have tragedy in the band, and then at the same time, you have a very long list of former members.
Yeah. Well, it's really not as I've read some people throw out the list, and they were listing guys who played like 4 shows with us.
That's true too. Well, yeah, that's because you got live musicians and you also had band members.
Yeah,
came and went.
But there have been some band members come and went. There's no no getting around that, you know. So, but you know, this lineup here has been together for several years now, and you know, since 2006, I think. Yeah. So you know, it's like, you know, before you know it, it'll be 10 solid years of this one.
The cohesion of the band is also something that reflects in the music and when you record. And
Certainly,
you know, it's really, really good that you guys, you know, have been able to, quote unquote, overcome that factor, if you will. But you know, you're united, you're there, you know the people you're playing with. And
it's the only thing I know how to do, you know, is play thrash metal, you know. So you know, I'm gonna keep doing it. You know, it's like, and everybody loves doing what we're doing, and you know, it's like there were times when everybody didn't, you know. But you know, we're all here for the right reasons now.
a lot of fans still after all these years coming up to the shows, coming up to you guys. It's really good. I'm sure that makes you feel, as a musician, something that's very fulfilling.
I mean, we played Salt Lake City last night, and there was some kids there, and there was like a little girl, looked like she's about 15, front row, looked like Linda Blair from the Exodus, so heavy. She was just eyes rolled back, singing every word to Strike of the Beast. You know, she wasn't born when that song was written, and that's an amazing thing. You know, if you'd have told me that might occur, you know, say back in '85, if you'd told me it happened now, I'd probably called you a liar. You know, but you know, there's a whole new era of kids into this very kind of metal, you know, us and Anthrax and Slayer and Testament and Creator and Death Angel and so many others, you know, and they've rediscovered the old music and embraced the new, and it's pretty awesome.
For last, we always like to give you your own space, man. Anything you want to say to your fans? I'll put you on the spot. Any last words? Go for it, man.
Last words, thanks for the support.
Absolutely.
Couldn't do this shit without you.
Definitely. Gary, thank you so much, man, for giving us a little bit of your time.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it, man.